Yes, you read the title correct. I lost my data. I disappointed it. Few months back, it was a laptop and I accidentally deleted my partition and I lost all of my data. Of course, it was my mistake, but it could be anything. It could have been something else. So yeah, you need to have your backup. And now that I know softwares which are really helpful in backup and which makes backing up and restoring your system very easy, it would be a completely full idea not to do a backup. So in this one, I'm going to show how you can also make a backup and restore it. There are numerous software to back up your system, and especially in Linux, you will find a lot of them. For example, TimeSafe. And one of the backup tool that I found was Pika Backup. It is a very elegant looking, feature-rich software for backup by Genome. I wonder since when Genome started making a very feature-rich software compared to KDE. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Genome, don't sue me. But jokes apart, it is a very capable software. And thanks to Sophie and Fina, that the software is right here, ready to use. And yeah, and in this demo, we are going to make a backup of this system. Although this system is a virtual machine, the steps are all the same. So yeah, you have to have a backup, location. Either it can be a remote backup solution, for example, a NAS, or just a simple USB or external hard drive. It doesn't matter. You have to choose your own backup location. But having a remote backup is better, and you always have to follow the 3-2-1 rule. 3 copies, 2 different location. One must be offsite. I think I said it wrong. It is 3 copies on 2 different medium, and one must be offsite. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So yeah, let's start with the backup process. But for in Linux, it is not really required to back up your root directory, but it is more important to back up your home directory because all of the configuration of your system resides in your home directory. For me, it is home/anis, and it could be different for you depending on your username. So if I go into my root directory, not all of these required to be backup if it is required for you. For example, etc, you might require some configuration from etc to be backup, and absolutely home directory. So yeah, this all the other things can be rebuilt and reinstalled. It doesn't matter, and you don't really need to back up the other directories. So for us, the two important thing is home and etc. I'm going to skip etc because I don't have any configurations in etc, but I will back up my home directory here. Now let's start with the backup process. For backup, it is a better idea to create a folder in your storage medium where you can store all of your backup, where Pika will store all of your backup. Now, when you install and start Pika, by the way, you can install and by the way, you can install pika according to your distribution. If you are in Arch Linux, and it is for sure very easy. And if you are in other distributions, we have documentations. You can go and read that. But after installation process is complete, open it. Let's start, and we will talk about the features along the way. Now, starting with setting up the repository where Pika Backup will store all of your backup data. It could be on a local disk or it could be a remote location. So let's see remote location. You can provide a SSH, URL to a server where you want to backup, or a SMB storage pool. It depends, and you have the flexibility of choosing any one of them. But for now, I'm going to just back up to a disk location. Let's select a folder, and it will be folder inside my removable disk. Backup, select. You can name it. I will say my main backup, and it contains my home directory. So yeah, I don't want to use encryption now, so no encryption. Create, and it created a repository where everything backed by Pika Backup will go inside it. So now we have few options. Let me clear the screen. Now we have different options, and the first option is file to backup. And of course, home directory is already selected. If you want something else, for example, you want etc, then you can of course select etc directory from here. And also the important thing is exclude from backup, which is an important thing to see because all of your trash and case are kept in your home directory. It is a good idea to ignore all of them, virtual machine and containers. So yeah, you can ignore ignore all of this. But in case you want to ignore something else, for example, exclude folder, let's say Go folder, which can be easily downloaded again. I don't want to include it in my backup. Excluded. So now you understand that you can include and exclude according to your need, and the setup process for now it is done. Now, if I directly click backup now, it will simply create a backup and you are good to go. But while it is backing up, let's talk about other features. Repository already in use, backing up data. Oh, okay. So let it finish then. Now, welcome to future. The backup is complete. Now, if we go into archives, we see details about our volume, how much data is used, and some options to check integrity if our backup is okay and all right, and the number of archives that we have made. This is the current archive, and yeah, you can create archives, and the archive is just a backup. When we click backup now, it will create archive. Now let's test it out. Let's say on desktop I created a new file, and after creating this file I back it up again. Now again, see you in future. So now if you see the backup is complete. Now I would delete this file. Shift delete, gone. Now I have to restore. How would I do that? Now let's look after how we can restore it. So if you know exactly where your file is located in the list of this backup, you can easily go into that and browse saved file, and there you go. You have all of the saved state of your backup. So it mounted it in this directory. If I go into desktop now, I opened up the wrong backup. Sorry. This is the first backup. Did not have the backup of this new file, but the second one, yeah. Now if I go into home, I have that new file. I can easily copy this file from here to my current home, and there you go. I have restored my file. Now we can easily restore our files and folders using pika backup. Now if you're done using your archivals, you can just easily click this and it will eject, or I would say it will unmount the archivals. Now you have the backup of your system, so you don't worry, and you don't have to worry about losing your data as I did. Yeah, it is not a good of a situation to lose your data, is it? No, it is not. So make backups, and if you have such a good tool, then why don't you? Not doing a backup doesn't make sense now. You have such a good software. Okay, let's see the scheduling feature. You can also schedule the backup. If you don't want to go through this hassle every day, then you can easily schedule your backup. Regular backup. If I want to say I want to create a daily backup at a particular time, you set it here and it will do a backup without even letting you know. So you are good to go then. So now that you know about this software, make backup, don't lose it, and I will see you in the next one.